Hello, welcome back to Talk of the Town. Committed to the belief that safety from violence and freedom from fear are universal rights, CODA provides services and emergency shelter to victims of domestic violence in a 4-county, 2,000 square mile area. Here to speak about the community education programs it conducts, community educator Theresa Lacey. Theresa, welcome to the show.
Good morning, thank you.
Certainly. So why is domestic violence such a major concern, especially in our community?
Well, when you look at the statistics, South Carolina is #2 in the nation for the number of women killed by men.
Wow.
Last year we were #1, and it's not that we got any better, it's because Alaska got so much worse. In reality, we had 13 more women murdered in 2012, which are the most recent statistics that have been released, than we did in 2011 when we're #1.
Yeah. Those are horrific figures.
They really are. You think about the fact that there are 3 women killed every day in this country by their partner, intimate partner or spouse, and every 9 seconds a woman is beaten by her spouse in this country, and those are just acts of physical violence. That doesn't include the emotional abuse, the mental abuse, the sexual violence, the control over finances.
Right. Wow. So what are some of the red flags of domestic violence?
One of the big things we tell people to look for is when a new partner wants to immediately get very involved and move very quickly into a relationship. You know, we have one situation where the girl told us that she had a wedding ring or an engagement ring on her finger within 2 weeks of meeting the man and was living with him within a month. You know, and it escalated from there until she was in the relationship for 7 years and really didn't know what was going on. You know, another thing that you want to look for is if there are really bad problems in a former relationship, if he's very angry still, even no matter the length, and still trying to control or badmouth the ex-spouse, that's another indicator.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people think, well, why do victims stay in those relationships, especially abusive relationships?
You know, that's the most common question people have. We hear it all the time. I speak at USCB a lot to the students in the sociology department, and they say, you know, well, she must have known that there was some way to get help. You know, there's all these shelters and there's all these services. And really, a lot of times the women don't even know that they're in an abusive relationship until much later. And at first she stays because she's in love. You know, this isn't a situation where the guy came in, met her at the door, and punched her in the face.
Right.
You know, he has wooed her, and he's very loving and caring and kind when he wants to be. So she's in love with him, and then after that it becomes just different levels of fear. You know, when you're told that I'm going to kill you and the children if you leave, you know, you don't leave. And in reality, she has a right to be afraid because there's a 70% greater chance of women being murdered in the 30 days after leaving a relationship. So it's a very dangerous time.
Wow. So if you have a friend or a family member who you suspect is a victim of domestic violence, what can we do to help?
Well, if you think that there's a problem and you're not real sure, talk to the individual. You really want to say, hey, you know, I've noticed that you're not doing well. What can I do to help? Are you safe at home? Are you afraid to go home? Are you able to spend money the way you want to spend money? Are you able to hang out with your friends? And try to feel them out because they may be very isolated at this point in the relationship. And if they say that there's something wrong, please refer them to CODA.
Okay. And so what supportive services does CODA offer?
Well, we have all kinds of services. Most people think of just the shelter, maybe the 24-hour hotline, if anything else, but we are the only domestic violence program in South Carolina that offers free legal services. We have a staff attorney, and if you've ever tried to get a free attorney, you know how difficult that is. So we're very proud that we're able to offer that. And she handles she doesn't do criminal cases, she does family law cases, so divorces and separate maintenance and support orders, child support, custody, that type of situation.
And obviously domestic abuse.
And obviously orders of protection and restraining orders. We also offer counseling for women and children, and we offer group counseling and individual counseling. We have case management services to help somebody who might need to apply for financial assistance through the state or be looking for a job, looking for a vehicle. We have somebody that can walk them through that process. And of course we have community education and volunteer programs.
Huge, right.
And the important thing here is all of our services are free and available on an outreach basis in all of the counties we serve.
Thank you so much. And we have all the information for CODA on the screen, phone numbers, websites, and thank you so much. Such a important topic, you know, as sad as it is, but it's such an important topic to reach out to people with.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak
Absolutely,
with me.
Theresa. And we thank you so much for joining us on today's Talk of the Town.